Every Day a Better You, a podcast that's not about being better than the person next to you, but being better than the version of yourself a day prior. Your host, Fareed Johnson, accompanied by my co-host, Henri.
Hello, everyone. This is Henri. A lot of people know me as Boo. Every Day a Better You.
Welcome back to another episode of Every Day a Better You. This is, I want to say, I'm not going to even talk about the number. I think it's 14, though. 15. 15. Good Lord. My name is Flip Johnson. If you don't know by now, I'm not going to say anything disparaging. I'm just going to pass it off to my co-host.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? This is Boo. And to my right, my original spot is our guest for today, Jim Higgins. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing well, guys. Thank you guys for having me on. I did the math driving up here. I've known Flip for 29 years, going on 30 years. And you and I have known each other for 20 plus years.
Easily, yes, 20 plus, I would say.
All through basketball.
But isn't that crazy how...
That's always the avenue.
It's always...
90% of the time.
I tried to tell my daughter who said that, Daddy, I don't know if I want to play basketball anymore. First instinct was I wanted to get up and like snatch her up. That's what I wanted to do.
Can't do that.
I was like, all right, can't do it. I had to process this in like 30 seconds, right?
Right.
Because then everyone else is there watching the other kids like, oh, what is Daddy going to say? Right? So
That's like rule number one in the Johnson household. Like basketball is...
That's it. Like you have no choice.
You have no choice.
So then, but she does, so to her credit, she does a lot of other stuff. You know this. She swims, she does lacrosse, she's in theater, she sings, right? So she does all of that stuff. But basketball, like a piece of me just kind of fell, right? So she says this, and I'm like, oh, okay. Why not? So she starts going through why she doesn't want to play and stuff like that. But I was like, basketball is more than just a game, right? It brings everyone together. Right. She's like, so then, Rachel and the other peanut gallery, but other sports can bring people together. I was like, no. I was like, basketball is one of the most social sports because anyone can pick up a ball and try. Right? They might suck, but they can still do it.
And you don't need much to play.
You need a ball and a hoop, not even a hoop.
Right.
We were talking about in previous episodes, you played in a garbage can. But like,
I think we're past those days, though. Fire escapes,
we
garbage
can find
cans.
a hoop, right?
Yeah. But you don't need much. Local park, local gym.
And I try to tell her, like, I was like, most of my friends are through basketball. Yeah. A lot of the opportunities that I received in life and what I learned about leadership, it came from basketball. Like swimming, great, but you're not going to get that same thing. Am I wrong?
It's a huge networking tool.
Yeah.
Golf, you need a little more.
Yeah.
You got to have a certain amount of money.
I was about to say, you got to have some cheese. What do you think? Was I wrong, Jimmy?
That's one of the most expensive habits.
Yeah, it is.
Golf is...
Jimmy's nice in golf.
Yeah. No, I am not. That is a complete and utter lie. I'm used to play in high school and then...
But am I wrong? Should I let Aubrey be or should I like push her?
You know what? I would let her be for now. She may return.
All right.
But you do have two other girls that...
I know. Esme's going to be a beast. I'm just letting you know.
Usually it's like that, the younger one.
But you
they're
know what
always around it. They always see it.
You know what I did, though?
Oh, God.
So you know the Time Hop, right? How it comes up, brings up old memories?
Yes.
So from 3 years ago, it's a training session of me and Aubrey. I was taking videos of her shot and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I sent it to her. I was like, you gonna let all this shit go away? Yo,
guilt tripping.
My own daughter, I know she saw it. She didn't respond.
Yeah.
That's funny.
When did you send it? Yesterday?
Yeah.
She'll respond today.
Nah, she ain't gonna respond. I'm gonna bring it up.
You're gonna bring it up again.
I'm gonna bring it up. All right. So before we get into my main man, Jimmy Higgins, like I said, one of my oldest friends, I want to talk about, let's recap that Gym of the Week, because it was a good one last time.
My one-liner?
Yeah, your one-liner. What was it?
I don't take claim of it. What was it? Aspire to inspire.
Yeah, man.
So how did you aspire to inspire someone or yourself?
Well, so remember last week we talked a little bit about that current situation that I was in that I'm happy to be out of. Yes. I'm in a new spot now, which is fantastic. So automatically my role of an administrator is to inspire teachers, inspire kids, right? So I get to do that all over again. And I've already started to have somewhat of an impact. There's this one kid, he's almost my height.
Get out.
Right, this kid is tall, 5th grade, right? And I got a little bit of his background or whatever. So I went over to him and just had a little talk about who I am, where I've been from, where I came from, the environment that I come from. I understand, you might be going through some stuff right now, and I had a real talk to him.
What was his reaction?
So it started because he, messing around and stuff like that. It started like, and then he was like, oh, because what I said to him, I was like, listen, you see me walking around for the last couple of days, right? Like I'm fun, but I work hard, right?
Yeah.
There's a way to do both,
Gotta
right?
have that balance, yeah.
But then I hit him with the, like I'm smiling, like, yeah. So we having a good time. And he's like, yeah, smiling and stuff. And then I was like, but that can all change. I changed my voice and everything. I tried to get the Jimmy Higgins deep voice.
You try to get the Darth Vader, Luke, I'm your
I was
father.
like, but that can all change. I
went
was
straight.
like,
I'm your father.
I told him, I was like,
Straight
I'll
Devo.
never be disrespectful to you. I'm never gonna yell at you.
Right.
But all of that fun stuff, it can change.
But listen, that's important because a lot of these kids, they don't know the balance. They just think it's all one way, fun and games. But that's not life, you know what I mean?
It is not.
And the sooner you learn that as a kid, the better.
Yep. So he gonna learn today. I tell you that
You
much.
went straight Debo, my champ.
I
huh?
did, yo. I went from my high pitch, yeah, we good, man. Yeah, I love kids. Don't let that shit
Well, you had
happen
to
again,
lure him
boy.
in. You had to bring him in. You had to lure him in.
Yeah, man, come on, come get this candy, kid.
Now, where's this kid from?
He's from up in Washingtonville.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I'm at now, Washingtonville.
So how was that up there?
What? It's fantastic.
What's the demographic? Is it diverse? Is it
Super
similar to where you were? Or? I'm asking.
similar. It's a polar opposite.
Is it?
Yeah, man. It's
In
like,
what ways? Tell the people.
yo,
how.
the diversity is just that does it all for me.
So you're not the diversity? You mean there's
My
diverse?
man,
You're not the diversity?
I'm not the diverse. I'm not the sole
The
black
token.
person
The token.
on the team.
Yeah.
Right. I look up. You see Ukrainian. You see Dominican. You see Puerto Rican. You see
that's
black.
awesome.
You see Italian. It is the most beautiful picture that one can paint.
That's awesome.
My man, like I get tingles even just talking about it, bro.
That's awesome.
Like
Yeah.
they say God doesn't make mistakes,
Right.
And things happen for a reason. And so I've been telling the teachers up there, and I've been telling the students because they ask, "Is this your first time?" I was like, "No. This is not my first time."
Right.
But sometimes like I'm a person that believes in standing up for what's right and like trusting your instincts, right? So my instincts, and again, you know this, I was a tenured building principal, like head principal, right? Principal of the year, all of that kind of stuff. And you just get this.
Did you show them your article? I know you showed them.
Not yet. It's coming. It's coming. But I did plug our podcast, and it wasn't a plug
How the hell did you plug how?
because for me, whenever I go somewhere new, right, I want people to understand who they're getting in their school, right? So the best way to do that is through like this is how you're gonna know who I am. Before I did a commencement speech for
Yes.
Hastings High School graduation in 2017, and I remember when I arrived at North Rockland and when I arrived at Pelham. I sent that out because there I talk a little bit about my life. I talk about struggles and I talk about overcoming those things. And I talk about why education is so important and why I'm so passionate about it. Talk about my little sister. Obviously, she's the reason for everything.
You
right?
gave them the whole rundown. You gave
The whole
them
rundown. But so I don't have to give them that rundown. They can watch it and understand. So then I was like, all right, well, why would I hide the podcast? It's not like we're here drinking and smoking and stuff.
Right.
We're here doing something positive, and we talk about our lives and stuff like that and how to overcome obstacles and get better at things while using something negative and turning that into a positive. So I was like, why not? I was like, if you want to get to know me, because I want you to know me and you'll understand why I'm so passionate, why I smile all the time, why I don't take certain things seriously because I've been through real stuff,
Absolutely.
right? So, and they get to see us, do our thing up here. You know what I mean?
I actually attended that commencement speech, and
Did you?
yeah, it's the epitome of.
Was it a tearjerker?
It was a tearjerker. Yeah, it was. It was the epitome of what you guys are talking about today. Aspire to inspire. So it was. You did a really good job.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
So enough of us. Let's
Yeah.
get into
Let's get into my man
Jim.
Jimmy. And before we even
Let's get
get
into
into
Jim.
what Jimmy is here for, I would just like to say Jimmy Jimmy was a trailblazer in this podcast game. Yeah.
That's
so
what you're
can you talk
elaborate on that?
It wasn't video. My man had the app, but talk about that. It was beer noggin, right?
Yeah. So my wife and I like to go to a bottle shop in Bronxville. R.I.P. Beer Noggin. It's not there anymore.
Yep.
But,
Shout out to Dana.
Very sad tearjerker time for us when that place shut down. So we were craft beer. We still are a little bit craft beer enthusiasts, and we had a podcast called But First Beer. B-U-T, not T-T. Okay. So we would start every podcast with, the topic of what we were going to talk about that day, but it would be but first, and then we would interrupt it beer, and we would choose a different craft beer brewery and a beer from said brewery, and we would talk about, the type of beer, the ABV of the beer, the ingredients, and things like that.
Oh, you were
down.
like
Right.
beer
Break everything
scientist.
down.
Connoisseur. He was a beer connoisseur.
Yes. We talk about brewery location, the hour. We'd plug the brewery, give the hours, if they had food or not, if they had any events coming up that you could check out. Sometimes we would have the brewer from these breweries. We would travel, go to the brewery, and we would have them on as a guest. Or we would have their director of business development or somebody from the brewery would be on the podcast. So, yeah, we didn't have the elaborate setup that you guys have here in this amazing studio. Shout out to Claudio. This is amazing. I wish we did. I wish we had the money to put something together like this in our living room. But, we had fun doing it. If you asked me how many episodes total we did, I couldn't tell you. But, we had fun, and then we kind of took a step back because we're busy with other things now.
Right. Would you ever try to bring it back every here and there? Or even because now, because clips weren't that popular back then, like these little 1 minute reels, right? You ever think about doing something like that again?
I think that if my wife Dana and I did something like that again, it would be more towards what we're here to talk about today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like it. And so what we are here to talk about today.
Speaking up today.
Yeah. So everyone knows like foster care is near and dear to my heart because I'm a product of
The system.
the system, right? And sometimes it works. A lot of times it does not, right? But Jimmy Higgins and Dana, they are, they're angels, right? Because they how there are people that become parents and they're like, oh, they complain about being a parent. Jimmy and Dana they wanted a kid for so long, right? And now they went about it a different route and went into being foster parents. But I want Jimmy to talk a little bit about that, talk about how that came to be. Why are you so passionate about being a foster?
Elaborate on the actual process. From beginning to when you get the kid, how you get the kid, what's the process? Do you keep the kid automatically? How long? If you do, if not,
right? Because there's so many levels. So
yeah,
Jim,
there's a lot of
away.
confusion of about fostering versus adoption.
Absolutely.
And I spend a good part of my week explaining it to colleagues or friends of mine, new acquaintances, customers, clients, because they automatically think, oh, you're fostering, you're going to be able to adopt that child, which is so far from the truth, right? The ultimate goal. Well, let me rewind, right? So my wife and I had trouble conceiving, so we tried to go the adoption route, which is insanely expensive. Like adoption for one child could cost upwards of $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went through that route. We got strung along by a birth mother down in Louisiana and an attorney down there, and it cost us about $11,000.
So when you say strung along, there's payments involved each time you go visit the kid or talk to the parent?
So there was a birth mother that was pregnant.
Yes. The kid wasn't even born yet.
Wasn't even born yet. But she signed on with us to be potential adoptive parents.
Right.
So we had an attorney down there. We have an attorney up here in Scarsdale. And going back and forth with them, they need the retainer for the attorney down there.
Yeah,
right. That's a good clip. That's like $3,500, $4,000 sometimes. Yeah. And then money that we would send would support her throughout her pregnancy to go to her doctor's visits and travel and food and prenatal vitamins and things of that nature.
You're supporting the mother as her pregnancy is going on.
Correct.
Yeah, I lived this with Jimmy real time.
I never even knew about.
This is
that process.
This is the worst. This is the worst story ever.
So that fell through.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fast forward. That was probably God, I want to say maybe 6-7 years ago. Dana's going to correct me on this because could be 8 years. I don't know. But 2023, in the fall of 2023, we decided that we were going to take this journey to become foster parents. And little did we know that we would have to go through a 10-week training because there's a lot that goes into just being a parent of natural-born children, as you know, or taking a child into your home where you don't know what's happened to them so far in life. I mean, if you get an infant, different story, right? Because you're nurturing and you know, that child from the beginning.
Now, can they tell you what happened if you don't get an infant? Can they tell you the background, the history of someone?
Yeah. So you'll have a social worker through Department of Social Services. We live in Westchester County, so we have an office in Yonkers where we live. There's an office in White Plains. And they'll give you the background on the child. And they'll do that before they even place the child in your home so that you are educated on what's coming in. But in 2023, we went through a 10-week training. And when I say like a binder this thick, like
I saw it.
I
crazy.
I took a photo of it and I sent it to Flip.
It's crazy.
And we had a trainer and we had one other couple that was also from Westchester. They were both school teachers at the high school level. And they were looking more to bring a teenager into their home. Okay. Because they're well versed in, in dealing with those
in secondary years.
Adolescents.
Yeah, those adolescents, right? We were open to infancy to 5 years of age. Okay. So we communicated that on the first training night. We did it 10 weeks in a row for every Wednesday night, 2.5 to 3 hours. We had homework every week on top of us working jobs. And it wasn't easy to do that. Dana was on me constantly. Did you do it? Did you do the readings? Did you do this?
And so both of you had to do it, or just
we had to do it separately.
Oh,
we had separate binders. Yeah, this wasn't like
yeah.
So, but I think the case studies that we went over really opened my eyes. I know they did Dana as well, but of what type of trauma these children face they could have faced it with their biological parents, or they could have faced it at another foster home. And we've had 2 cases thus far. Our first case came to us June 4th of 2024. So we finished that training and we had to wait basically 5 months to get, 5.5 months to get a phone call. And that was on a Tuesday night. And we got the call at about 5 p.m. That a little girl was going to come to our house at 8:30 p.m.
Wait.
We get a call from social services. Right. They have an emergency placement of a little bit over a 2-year-old. She was 2+, female that needed to be placed
at 8:30.
At 8:30,
You got
same
the call
night.
at
5:30.
Yeah.
Dana puts it on speakerphone. We're sitting on the couch,
ready to go.
And he said, "I'm listening to the conversation." She just looks at me and she goes, I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we had some stuff from friends. So we had a car seat, right? We had a high chair, like an infant high chair, like a feeding chair. And it's 8 o'clock, 8:15. I'm out trying to load this thing in the dark into Dana's car. So I'm in the back seat. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I never put a kid seat in, right? This was like an infant car seat. This is a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference. I'm a first-time foster dad, right? So I'm trying to get this thing. I'm cursing the high hell. Like I don't know what I'm doing, right? And this Westchester County Prius, electric. You know how quiet that is?
Yes.
Scared the hell out. Creeps up. I'm making noise with the seat, right? And window goes down. "Excuse me, sir," and I just jump out of my skin. I was like, "Oh my God!" I turn around. And it's 2 social workers, 2 female social workers, and this little girl's in the back seat. And so, can you tell us where to find, this number, avenue, or whatever? I said, "Oh,
that'd be me."
I said, I'm foster dad. I'm Jim. Nice to meet you. And you can just pull right into the driveway." So they pulled in. I went up. I grabbed whatever bag they had. Foster kids, you can attest to this. Foster kid will arrive with a garbage bag full of things, clothes, some toys, So there was a garbage bag and a Target shopping bag, one of those reusable ones, totes, right? And I said, I'll take this stuff. So I go up and I go right into her room and I dump everything out onto the floor. And I took all of her stuffies and I put them in her bed and took the books and I put them in the book box and then like took her blanket and hung it over the rail of the bed. And the social workers come up, they go into the living room and we sit down and she's just looking around at everything like, where am I? Like, what's going on, you know? But she was so friendly and so cute, and you know, she's super adaptable. Like, oh, I'm living here now, cool. Like, where's the fridge? Where's where's this? Where's that?
I think that's a trait you develop too as you.
Yeah. So I was like, you want to see your room? You want to see your new room? So she goes, yeah. Like, she's all excited. Language skills weren't really developed yet, right? She's a little bit over 2 years old. And she would say something. I'm like, yeah, okay. I would just agree with everything, right? It's just like, let's just have fun.
Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. So I showed her a room. She goes, that's mine. That's mine. She's pointing to all her stuff. So we want to make it, make sure that she felt welcome. She was with us for 10 months.
Right.
And she left.
Yep.
I know. Take your time. Take your time.
I know. I was gonna say this is gonna drudge up some stuff, man, because I know personally how close you were to that little girl and how like that you couldn't tell anyone that's not your kid. That's your kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
that was tough.
Yeah. So what was the purpose of her leaving? Why couldn't you keep her?
The goal of fostering, right, is reunification. Mm-hmm. So her mom fought to get her back. And so, she went back with her mom.
Which is a similar situation to you.
Yeah. And I had, like I said, God rest my mother's soul, but I had no business going back to my mom.
So that's the next question. If the parent, in this case the mom, is in an unfit situation for the kid, how the hell does the kid get to go back?
So they have to go through steps.
Yeah.
So in our first case, there was visitations.
Right.
We're not involved with direct contact with the birth parents, okay? The dad was not on the scene. The mother was involved in drugs, alcohol. That's the reason why she was taken from the home.
First place.
And regardless of what a birth parent in a foster case has done, they can still have visitation with their birth child.
And
she could have committed a crime and she could be in jail, and she would still have the right to go and visit her mother, and her mother would have the right to have her come into.
Yeah, paternal rights are that's the system is the system. That's why people say the system's really
hold on.
Really messed
let
up.
me ask this: is it a mutual visit in place, or you don't have anything to do with that? The social worker comes.
We have nothing to do with it.
The social worker comes and gets the kid and brings.
Correct. Or we would have a third-party transportation, like a little mini bus would come and pick her up.
For whatever amount of time and bring him back.
Yeah. And she would go to the Department of Social Services in where I live, and she would go and have a visit for
all too familiar.
A couple hours.
Right down there by the water.
Oh, Yonkers.
Yeah, Warburton. Yeah. So we went through progressively increased visits. Yeah. So it used to be just Thursdays, and she would go and see her on Thursdays. And then it was like Tuesday, Thursday. And then, when we got to 7-8 months, they were doing lunch visits at mom's apartment with the social worker. Social worker would drop her off and then come back an hour later and pick her up. And she would come back and you really see the mixed emotions and the confusion of a 2.5-year-old, almost, she turned 3 when she was with us. So now we're into the following year. She's 3.
Yeah.
She's going back and forth, seeing mom, and then coming back to Jim and Dana. It's like, where do I live? Like, what's going on?
It's so confusing. It's confusing for an older kid. Like, imagine a little 3-year-old,
And then you're trying to discipline, and she's like, no, mommy told me I don't have to listen to you guys.
Right.
You know, like, what are you talking about?
Which is insane.
And the other part of that is the brain. You don't know the type of brainwashing that mommy could be doing.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to see them. Don't be this. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll see you next. You know what I mean? Yeah. All type of things can be.
Those people don't love you.
Yes.
Don't let them bring you to the potty.
Yes.
There's a lot. That
anything
goes
that
on.
fits the mother's narrative.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. And who's right in this situation, right? In her little brain, mommy's always right. Mommy loves me, So that was a tough one. When she went back, that was tough. I went to I'll never forget that day. I went to Yankees opening day.
Yeah.
Solo. I bought a solo ticket because I couldn't find a friend to go. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. I hardly missed opening day. So I bought a seat same day of. I was just like, I'm going to go. Are you okay if I go? Like,
Right.
And Dana was like, yeah, go. I got her. Like, whatever. And it was like, I remember, what's the guy's name? Austin. Opening at bat.
Okay.
Cranks a homer. Place goes crazy. Then he gets up again, I don't know, in the third or fourth, hits another one. And we're like,
what?
I'm like, this is the best opening day like I've ever been to. And then I get the phone call that she's going to go back the following day.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Just like that.
It's the fifth inning of the game. I stood up, walked out, got on the 4 train, and headed
But
home.
what I mean, just like that, no prerequisite. Like
we didn't know.
There's a chance she may go back.
Soon as just as fast as she arrived, that 5:30 call there by 8:30, it's as fast as they go.
Whatever the judge deems to be
wow.
the next move is the next move.
So then now your new situation with how did that come about?
Yeah, so it was so weird. So we kept getting phone calls to take siblings because they're so desperate. There's so many kids that need homes. And while we had our first case, I had to keep reminding myself, don't say the names, right? Because of privacy. We had our first case, and they called and they said, can you take a 8, 6, and a 3?
Oh,
on top of what we had. So 4 total in a 3-bedroom apartment in the one room that our current foster daughter's living in could fit another kid. And they're like, can you take 3?
So wait,
or just take them as respite, which means temporary.
Yeah,
like,
work respite. Yeah.
Okay, so can you take them as respite? I'm gonna line 3 kids up on our sectional couch in the living room. That's insane.
But they do it. So I've been in education when I was working in the Bronx because they don't look at it, and that's why the system's so crazy because those parents aren't looking at it like you're looking at it. Like I'm really gonna take care of this kid. They're like, I'm gonna get this check, more kids, more money.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so like,
that's the
I'll take these 3 kids,
that's the other side
put them on the couch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not everyone has that integrity like you do.
Our first case was in an initial home. Second home got removed from the second home because shady shit was going on.
Yeah.
And place was with us as the 3rd home.
Damn.
Our current case, we're her 3rd home.
Damn.
Yeah. So going back, so our second case, we got the phone call the day prior, and this is weird.
What's the time frame from when?
So March 28th.
Yep.
Then we get a call on June 4th. Our first case arrived on June 4th.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
the
like,
world speaking.
So Dana gets the call and she goes, hey, there's a little bit over a 2-year-old. And I said, do you realize today's June 4th? And she was like, oh my God. I go, yeah. And she goes, well, they're saying that she's going to arrive tomorrow, June 5th. So I said, okay, like, let's roll.
Let's do it.
Here we go again. Yeah.
It might have been, we might have gotten the call a little bit earlier, and then the placement date was a day after the other one came. So maybe it was the week before. Again, Dana will correct me on this.
Yes, you will.
She'll be like, no, it's so not.
No,
right.
you big dummy.
You guys will post this on Instagram, and she'll be like, it was actually this date in the comments, So
the actual dates aren't important. Yeah, they aren't.
So this one comes, we're her 3rd home. She did not get taken out of the second home because, they were doing something wrong. The second home was a woman who was a working woman. Our second foster daughter was in daycare during the day, and she would come home at night and, they would basically just
hardly
kind of
ever
sit around.
Yeah, no interaction. Hardly ever interact with
Didn't
people.
have her being active or anything like that.
Right.
She's clinically obese when she came to us as a little over a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So every pediatric visit that she's had, obese has always been ticked off, right? So we're like, well, we're going to change that, right? So she comes into our home, and so we go up to the Department of Social Services in White Plains because that's where we're going to pick her up, right? And we walk into the pediatric department, and they have a playroom for before the kids go into the back and get their shots and get checked out, get weighed and measured for height. And there's this girl sitting at the table, and she's coloring. And Dana and I look at each other, and then we're looking around the room, and we're looking through the glass at the other offices, and we're like, where is she? And where's the 2-year-old? And so the social worker comes in, and she goes, oh, you met her. And we're like, and the girl just looks up at us, and I'm like, that's got to be like a 4 or 5-year-old.
No, Baby Shaq.
So, so I'm looking at her, I'm just like, oh, my God. So years later, she's going to watch this. And be like,
come on.
Come on. So she was 38 and a half inches tall.
Golly.
45 pounds at a little bit over 2. And I was like, that's what I thought. I'm like, Shaquille O'Neal has to be her birth father.
Biological.
This girl is going to take me down in the post and do like a Sigma move on me or something, right? So
hold on, I'm going to show you a picture.
So she comes into our home. The homes prior didn't have her being active, and they were overfeeding her. So we had to change that. So we're like, we're going to switch up her diet. For breakfast, she has a parfait. So granola, yogurt, and chopped up strawberries, chopped up banana, whatever she feels like that morning, whatever. And her motor function with the spoon and everything, she's good. She feeds herself. We put one of those catch-all bibs on her, and she's good to go. And so she started doing that. We do a light lunch, do a good hearty dinner. But the main thing is Dana gets her out of the house.
Yeah, man.
That's half the battle.
Yeah. First time we brought her to the playground.
She probably loved it.
No, she didn't even She didn't even know what the equipment was.
Wow.
She probably doing pull-ups now.
Think about that.
That little girl is strong.
Think about that.
She didn't even know what the
She didn't know what a
was.
playground was.
Damn.
That's sad. That's sad.
At 2.5, like she
sad.
should have been to the playground,
Every other day. Yeah, that's sad.
And so
Wow.
we took her out of the stroller, and she just wanted to get back in it.
Oh, see.
She wanted to be pushed. She didn't want to
But that's
run
classic
and
because
play.
that's what she knows, right? A dog doesn't know they're captured until you move the fence.
Yeah.
They go to where the fence was and come
right.
back. That's,
So you know what we did? And this is a big park in Yonkers where we live. So we bring her there, and we just took her out of the stroller, and we just walked.
Yeah.
We just started walking. And she's just standing there screaming her little head off.
Yeah.
We said, you want to get back in the stroller, you got to walk over to us.
Yeah.
And we just kept walking.
And day
Made
by
her
day,
follow.
she'll get better.
Made her
Day
follow.
Right.
She did like 0.6 around the lake. And we were like, all right, let's sit down, let's have a snack.
That's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. And then as the weeks progressed, she didn't want to get in the stroller. She's running. She wants to play. She's all over the equipment. So, shout out to my wife. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, Dana's no joke, man. So she's a beautiful soul.
Yeah,
Dana.
she's great. But, so we're on our second case. It'll be 4 months on the 5th of October.
My birthday, shameless plug.
Yep,
Just saying.
happy birthday. And happy early birthday.
Yeah.
And she's good. You know what? Shout out to all of our friends, and then also people in our neighborhood, and also people from other counties like Rockland County. Dana, put a post on Facebook Moms or
Moms
of
Moms
like
of White
Woodlawn down in the
Plains
Bronx
or whatever. Whatever moms group.
We had women we'd never met before.
Right. Well, how
show
was
up
that
to our
appetite
house
for that? Right.
and just drop off garbage bags of clothes
Wow.
and toys.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah.
And like close friends of ours, like, oh, like, what do you need? And we're like, 5T, 6T clothing.
yeah. She right.
For a 2.5-year-old, which was wild, right? But because of what Dana's done with her and getting her out of the house and making her be active,
She shed some of that weight.
she went from 45 to 41 and change.
That's dope.
And then she grew a little bit, so she slimmed out.
Yeah.
But I'm still squatting to pick her up because
bet.
like she's solid.
We gotta go through Esme's clothes soon because Esme keeps growing like a damn sprout.
Oh, they grow like weeds.
So so like you'll have some stuff coming your way.
It's awesome.
Very very soon.
Esme not too small for her. She's not too small for her.
Have you seen Esme lately? Esme's in second grade and she's wearing like 10T. Like she's crazy. Yo, that girl is nuts.
So our first case, as she was around us longer, her language started to
Get
develop.
better, yeah.
Second case, we're seeing that earlier with her, and the father was involved in being on Zoom calls for everybody coming together, like the caseworker, third party like officiant that had to be on the call, lawyer, et cetera, so they have these like cadence calls, and then he just stopped like showing up, and the mother's not on the scene.
Was she on the scene initially, or
she
in and out?
She gave birth to this child, and because of her past of doing this over and over again, CPS and DSS take the child from the hospital. So there's no breastfeeding, there's no nurturing, none of that. The father, I'm not going to say the exact number, but the father has over 20 kids.
What?
Yeah, I'll let you guys just sit on that.
The hell?
Yeah.
Man.
I have one foster daughter, and I have like trouble and like anxiety about like, when I go to work, like, not anxiety about like, is she okay? But like, I think about her like, all the time. But like, I couldn't imagine having that many children.
But the thing is this, 20, he's not there.
No,
he's
That's like Sean Alexander. You saw that?
Yeah,
talking about he got 14 in the oven. Number 14 in the oven. What is wrong?
I saw that yesterday.
It's a mental thing. Something's not.
Some kid. Man. 14 kids.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But our current daughter, her language is progressing. So her father was not approving that we could get an initial evaluation done on her, which was driving us insane.
Why though? What's the logic behind that?
I made her. She's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the logic.
Control, man.
And it's control the situation. He's the biological father. If he doesn't want to have...
That's his last piece of control, right?
So the judge finally went over the top on that and approved it.
Yeah.
So last week we had... was it this week? It was this week, yeah. On Monday, we had a speech pathologist come for early intervention to do an assessment. And she's good on that. She was like, she's further ahead than other 2.5-year-olds I've seen. And then on Wednesday we had Mr. Bob, and Mr. Bob.
Who's that? Who's Mr. Bob?
Mr. Bob comes in to do motor function, cognitive, speech, like a whole bunch of different things. And so he had a little roller bag, and she kept trying to open it herself. He's like, "You got to wait for me. You got to wait for me, right?" And so he took out some blocks. He took out some cups that were all multiple cups inside the big cup. And,
shapes and all that shit.
She went through colors. She went through shapes. He said, "Where's your hair?" She points. "Where's your nose? Where's your lips?
That's
Where's
awesome.
everything?" And she was doing it all. And then he goes, "Where's the tree?" To try to mess her up, right? And she cocked her head like, "What are you doing to me, Bob? Like, what are you talking about? Tree's outside."
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, she points outside.
Punch you in your kneecap.
It took her a little while because he was doing body parts, and then he goes,
Yeah.
"Where's the tree?" Right?
Yeah.
And she was like this.
She had to process it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
She almost mean mugged him. She was like,
Good.
and she was like, "Tree's outside. Come on,
to
Bob.
mess
Give me a
her
harder
up.
one than that." Right? And he just looks at Dana and I, and he goes, "She's good.
Yeah.
She's
That's
good.
awesome.
She's good to go." Were you guys worried about something?
Right.
And I was like, I kind of was. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
So the biggest thing with her is she has abandonment issues, obviously. We're her third home. I was leaving today. She was like, "Jim, come back. Jim, come back." But she wants to make sure that she's going to see you.
Yeah.
So I always have to coddle her a little bit when I'm leaving the house, when I'm leaving for work or so separation anxiety is a big thing.
Right.
Dana goes, "I'm going to go take a shower," and shuts the bathroom door because like, it's our foster daughter. So like we're very private, like with showering.
Yeah, of course.
And things of that nature. Changing when I get changed.
You're
for
helping
work
her
in the
too, because
morning.
she's learning that too. She's seeing that, okay, they close the door, but okay, it's okay, they're shout,
Yeah, privacy is
Right,
okay,
right.
things of that nature. So Dana's starting to leave the house without putting a pull-up on her now.
Yeah.
So big girl
Okay,
undies.
there you
Big
go.
girl
Okay.
panties, we're calling them. So she's getting used to that. She's really far along in potty training. We've had no number 2 accidents in
That's amazing.
Probably 2 months.
Even at night.
See, so
Even at night, she won't go like that at night. She will pee in a pull up at night. So we do the pull up overnight. You're very into right? We do the pull up overnight, and sometimes she'll wet the pull up.
no, she's well on her way.
Yeah, she's on her way.
So I want to ask you 2 questions before we start to wrap up, because listen, I told you it's near and dear to my. I can talk about this forever. Well, I want to ask you two
Did they
questions.
put the pull up on you at night when you was?
Oh no, nah, bro. I was potty trained for 9 months.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that shit.
Thank God.
9 months.
They put the pull up on
I
his
knew
ass.
I knew how to do it all. No
He
accidents.
was too big. They had to put a Depends on him or something.
First question. So I noticed when you say, like, instead of saying dad, you say foster dad. Is that a defense mechanism so you don't get too attached and say your dad? Because
That's a good question.
Like, because you're a mother effing dad, bro. Like,
Yeah.
listen to you talk. I know, like, we text every single day, so
Yeah.
I know, like, the story. I know the journey. I know what you do. I know what Dana does. Like, you're a dad, but I
Yeah.
notice you always make sure you say foster dad.
Yeah. I mean, we went through the training on this, and I am a foster father. And I do consider myself a dad. But with our first case, we were called Jim and Dana.
Right.
With our second case, we're Jim and Dana.
Yep.
At the beginning of our second case, she could not stop calling Dana mommy.
Yeah.
And Dana was this actually was driving me crazy on the other side of the apartment because Dana would be like, Dana, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I work remotely, so I work from home. So I could be in the middle of a phone call with one of my customers or a colleague or my manager, and all I'm hearing is mommy Dana, mommy Dana, mommy Dana. And I'm like, oh my God, please just let her grasp on to Dana soon, because so good news, the courts are working on termination of parental rights for both parents. So that means
TPR, baby.
TPR. Adoption is imminent, and it could take a long time to process through the courts to get that done, but they cover all the expenses, they cover our attorney, like anything.
That's amazing.
Hopefully by next June,
Right.
we'll adopt, and then we can legally change her last name.
That would be amazing.
And the social worker the other day was like, "Are you going to change her first name?" I'm like, "No, it's like that's her identity.
Yeah, out of here."
She always leads with her first name.
Yeah,
she talks about herself in the third person.
That's amazing.
And it's so funny.
So she literally is Baby Shaq.
Like blank happy, blank, Hungy.
Yeah.
I'm Hungy. I'm like, okay.
Hungy.
But yeah, she's special. So we're looking forward to permanently adopting her. So foster care, I know we started off with this, right? The difference between fostering and adoption. Adoption is permanent, okay? The goal of being a foster parent is always reunification with the birth parents.
Yeah, you were saying that. You started to get into that.
Birth mom or birth dad if they're separated, right? But it's important for people to understand that fostering could be temporary.
Yeah.
Right. And fostering, it could be respite.
Yeah.
Like, you could have an infant until 2 years of age.
Then they go back.
And grandma comes forward and says,
"Oh, okay.
I would like to
Take
adopt
my
grandma, get your ass on, bro."
And that's really, like, I've seen some cases where they raise this child from infancy to 2 or 3 or 4. And they get taken away because they're just still in the foster system because maybe visitations are happening or somebody needs to get out of jail or whatever it might be. So,
all right. So then lastly, how because it's every day a better you, right? So how has become this whole process? How has this changed you as a person?
Oh, I think being a parent is one of the craziest, most insane things that you could ever do. It's the hardest job. Both mother and father. I think it's harder for Dana because I work.
Yeah.
So I leave the house. She's with her the entire day.
Right.
So I think it's made me become less selfish. You cannot be selfish and be a parent.
You can't.
No such thing, right?
You need to. They're the world now, so you got to provide for them. You got to feed them. You got to. It's unconditional love, support, constantly teaching them, and I think they constantly teach us.
Amazing. Yeah, and I have noticed a different, like maturity levels, not saying you're immature or whatever, but, we talk about real shit all the time now when it comes to being a parent and grown up, a lot of grown up stuff. So I have seen a change since you've gone through this process, and I love it. And that leads me into our Jim, defining your why. Not Jim like Jim Higgins, but Jim G-E-M.
G-E-M.
G-E-M,
yeah.
right? Defining your why. This guy has such a greater purpose now, and like he knows exactly why he's doing it. So I wanna like challenge the audience to really like take a step back, reflect.
What's your why?
What's your why? Right? Like what is your why? I think that's super important.
Yeah.
And if any of your listeners or your guys' friends that I don't know want to talk about fostering and what goes into it, I'm here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
The email's everydaybetteryou34@gmail.com. You could, Jim, what's your Instagram handle?
It's Jim Higgs with 2 G's, 32 or 3200.
Something like that.
He sounds like me.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll try post-production. We'll try to flash it across.
I changed it at some point.
I
think
know,
it was just 32, but
because you're such a social media guy.
Yeah,
like me.
We'll try
yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, right. Boo.
So when you guys post this, I'll comment and
Perfect. But yeah, no, it's important, man. And there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure are trying to get into that whole, that whole way of life and becoming a foster parent.
Kids in Westchester County need it. So if you want to open your home, then and you have the ability to do so, you do get the support from them while you're fostering. So you get services and like speech we talked about. You can get physical therapy, PT, OT, all that stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So define your why. It's important. It gives you purpose, and that's obviously there's a product of someone that has purpose, and it's what we need in this world.
Right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on, man. And
thank you for the information.
Before we get out here, I just have to give a quick shout out. If you didn't notice, our new shirts, my boy Kern Mojica, man. This guy is the shirt.
You got our shirts?
You got our shirts, bro?
They're literally fire.
Yeah, they're
There's
literally fire. And my boy Kern, like he does the heat press and everything. He's nice with it. He has a connect.
No joke.
He's no joke, bro. Kern's no joke. But that's my plug for Kern. So Jimmy, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Real stories.
Real results.
Every day a better you. Make it a great one.